right, who can tell me what interest is when I'm talking about money? Andrew.
Basically like saying you'll eventually pay it all, but you have like smaller payments to make until you make the final one.
Okay, so like if I go to the bank and I tell them that I need to borrow $10,000, are they just going to give me $10,000 and let me just have $10,000 for however long and then pay that $10,000 back?
That would be nice.
It would be nice, but if I'm borrowing money, I actually have to pay to borrow that money. Okay, so interest is how much money you are having to pay after so many years. Okay, or I could put money into a savings account. So say that I go to the bank and I put $10,000 into a savings account. That savings account will earn interest over so many years, so I will actually gain more money. Okay.
They let other people borrow. They give it to other companies and whatnot. People who want to borrow money.
Not really, but kind of, I guess. That's how it is if you're borrowing it, but they're not paying you to let you borrow their money. All right, so we're going to learn how to find out that interest, to find how much money I would have to pay after so many years, or how much money I might earn after so many years. Okay, so of course we have a formula. That is going to be I equals PRT. But before we get to that part, we've got a few vocab words. So we've got what's called a principal, which is actually the amount of money that you are either putting into the bank or borrowing. Okay. So your principal is always going to be written as money. Your simple interest, that is the amount that you are paying or earning. So that's how much the interest is gaining. And then we've got our formula down here, I equals PRT. So what exactly do you think that I is going to stand for using this word bank over here?
Interest.
That is going to be my interest. What about my P?
Principal.
That would be the principal, which remember is going to be written as money each time. What's that R? That's your rate, and it is going to be written as a percent. Okay. So your money is going to be taken at 5% interest or 10% interest. Okay. So that will always be written as a percent. What about my T? That is time. And my time is always going to be written in years. Okay. So if they give you months, you're going to have to convert it to years. All right. Ms. Ramirez is investing $400 in a savings account at a simple interest rate of 2% to purchase a laptop. She plans on investing the money for 18 months. So what do you think is my principal? $400. Yeah. Remember, that is always written as money, so that's how you know that is your principal. And that's how much he's investing. He's putting that $400 into a savings account. What about my rate? 2%. And my time?
1.5 years.
18 months, right? But I've got to convert that into years. So I can simply just divide that by 12, which is going to give me 1.5 years. All right, go ahead and flip over. All right, so we're first going to be looking at simple interest as to how much money we are going to earn on something. So these first few examples are putting money into a bank, depositing money into a savings account. Okay. So Arnold puts $580 into a savings account, and the account is paying 3% simple interest. How much is he going to earn in 5 years? Okay, so I've got my formula, I equals PRT. That P is going to be my $580. And then the simple interest rate is 3%. So if I change that to a decimal, it would be 0.03. Did anybody last night on your homework find a shortcut of how to do this without having to change it to the decimal? If you're using your calculator? No. Did any of you just plug this in as 3%? Don't you have a percent button on your calculator?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can actually just say, instead of having to convert now, we learned how to convert yesterday, so I know you know how to convert a percent into a decimal now. But since we're using our calculators, you can just use that percent button, and I'm fine with that. I'm about to show you. So you can say you've got 580 times 3%. So I'm going to punch my 3. My percent button is right here of the parenthesis, but you got to hit second. So second parenthesis, and it gives you that percent sign. Okay. And then multiply that by 5 years. Do I still get the same answer? But they got 87? Yes. So you can use that percent button in your calculator if you think that is shorter. Or you can convert either way. Still get the same answer. Okay. Alright, so that means that that savings account is earning $87 in 5 years. Okay. Number 2, we're still putting 580 in at a 3% interest rate, but this time we're going to see how much it will earn in just 6 months. So remember, T has to be in years. So you got to convert that 6 months into years first. So 6 divided by 12, which we already know is half of a year. Okay. So 580 times 3% times 1/2. So in 6 months, it's earning $8.70. Okay. All right, example A. Jenny puts $1,560 into a savings account at a 2.5% interest. How much will she earn in 3 years? So my formula is I equals PRT. So what number am I plugging in for P? What's my principal? Good. 1,560. What is my rate? 2.5%. And how much time? 3 years. So I can just leave it at 3, right? Because it's already given to me as years. Alright, now if I multiply all those together, 1,560 times 2.5% times 3, what do you get? Okay. $117. So it's earning $117 in 3 years. Any questions about that? Alright, B. Marcos invests $760 into a savings account. He's paying 4% simple interest. How much will he earn in 5 years? So what's my principal? What's my rate? And how much time? 5 years. So how much money is he earning? 152. That's it. Yep. Pretty easy, right? Any questions? Drew? I don't think so. I don't put them in my calculator. I just write them. No. I just write them so I know I'm multiplying. It's easier to write multiplication sign. But no, I don't put them in the calculator. Alright, flipping over. So that was how much money am I earning. These examples are going to be how much money am I going to have to pay. So this is if I'm borrowing money. Okay. So Rondell's parents borrow $6,300 from a bank for a new car. Their interest rate is 6% per year. How much will they pay if it takes 2 years to repay that money back? All right, so I've still got my same exact formula. So my principal is $6,300 at 6% rate and for 2 years. So their interest is $756. So they're going to have to pay $756 on top of their $6,300 when they get ready to repay that back. Okay. Yeah, that's what I said. Same thing. The only thing is this is talking about putting money into the bank where the other examples were borrowing money. This is borrowing money. What we just did was savings account. So putting money in and seeing how much it grows.
You still use the same formula?
Yep, same formula for all of it. I equals PRT. Okay. So nothing changes except for the context of it, of what it's actually meaning.
So you still use multiple for the numbers and the plus?
Yep. Just one situation is borrowing money. One situation is putting money in, depositing money. All right, let's look at example 4. He bought new tires for $900 using a credit card, and it had an interest rate of 19%, which is pretty high. If he has no other charges on that card and does not make a payment, how much money will he owe after 1 month? So in this case, they're asking how much, when he pays it back, how much is he going to owe. So we've got to find our interest first, which is $14.25. But in 1 month, he's going to pay that off. So it's going to cost him $14.25 to use the credit card, but then he's also got to pay back how much he borrowed. So $14.25 plus your $900. So at the end of that 1 month, he's going to have to pay the credit card company $914.25. Okay, does that make sense? So in this case, you are just adding that interest back to what you're having to pay. Okay. Questions on that? Okay. Example C. Miss Hanover borrows $1,400 at a rate of 5.5% per year. How much simple interest will she pay if it takes 8 months to repay the loan? All right. Same formula. I equals PRT. So what's my principal?
1,400.
Good. 1,400. At what rate? 5.5%. And how much time? 8 months, so I've got to divide that 8 by 12. Here's where I might want to use parentheses. Because you can just plug all that in your calculator at once. You don't have to find your 8 divided by 12 first. I'm going to use them just around my 8/12ths. So I'm going to say 1,400 times 5.5% times, now I'm going to put my 8 divided by 12 in parentheses. So it knows to divide that 8/12ths first before multiplying by everything else. Okay? So times 8 divided by 12, close that parenthesis. So what does that round to in dollars? $51.33. Questions on that? Yes.
You can't just use the best fraction ratio.
You can. But will it give you your answer as a fraction?
Yes.
Yeah, which you don't really want because you're dealing with money. You can change it. Whatever you want to do. It's up to you. It's just quicker. You don't have to convert back and forth if you just plug it in as division. All right, D. An office manager charges $425 worth of office supplies on a credit card. Credit card has an interest rate of 9.9%. How much money will he owe at the end of 1 month if he makes no other charges on the card and does not make a payment? So this is like example 4 that we just did. We want to know how much is he going to have to owe at the end of that month. So that's going to take into consideration the interest that it earns plus however much money he used on it.
So, like, if we get an answer, like, with just one decimal, like, in 10 we have to put a 0.
Yep. So if you get like 51.2, that really means it's 20 cents. So add that 0 to the end.
So it's always like
Yeah.
that. It has two.
Yes. Yeah, because money is always the 2 decimals. Okay. All right. So I've got my formula. I equals PRT. Now I just need to plug my numbers in. So what's my principal? 425. My rate, 9.9%. And how much time? 1 month. So I need to say 1/12. Good, Casey. All right. So when I multiply all that together, What do we get? How much is my interest? Close. Look at $3.51. That 6 is gonna bump that 0 up. Okay. So 3.51. Is that what they're asking for though? Is how much interest? No, they're asking how much is he gonna have to pay at the end of that month. Okay. So how much money did he borrow to begin with? $425. So to find the total that he's going to have to pay at the end of the month, I've got to add that $425 plus the interest that it earned over that month. So how much does he have to pay? $428.51. Any questions about that?
Why you gotta add those two together?
Because they're asking how much money he's going to owe at the end of the month. So if he's paying that credit card off at 1 month, you've got to pay however much you bought something for, plus the interest that it earned to borrow that money. Does that make sense? So if it's just asking for the simple interest, that's when you're just signing I, and I is your answer. But if it's asking how much is he going to owe at the end of the month or at the end of the year, that's when you're going to have to add your interest back to however much money you borrowed. Okay. We good? All right, you do not have to do the guided practice, but you do have to finish the rest of the packet.